Welcome to the program. We apologize for that small problem, but definitely it was a technical glitch, but it has been solved, and I hope you're still on board. Now, before we went into that, we were looking at the top gainers on the market just as per Friday. Like I mentioned, these markets, the stock markets, open on Monday at exactly 9 a.m. and close on 1 p.m. on the same day. And that happens for the next 4 days. That is all the weekdays: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But they close for the Friday weekend until Monday morning. So right now, as I speak, the stock market is open for trading, and people can start trading on several counters. Now, we analyze data or statistics of companies as per the closing day. That was Friday for today. And definitely, because the markets are closed on the weekend, we are not very certain what happens in between Friday and Monday. But definitely now the data show from Monday, shows the several changes that could have happened. Because even when the market is closed, of course, some brokers are able to do offline deals. They are able to break deals off the market, and this can push the prices to different directions. But as well, looking into the Uganda Securities Exchange, which opens at 9 a.m. by the close of the markets at 1 p.m. on Friday, we had 4 participants in the market, and we ended with 4 gainers and 5 losers. And as you can see here, the gainers were led by Jubilee Holdings Limited at 3.8% gain or appreciation in price valuation. Then later we were seeing the Uganda Clays Company Limited following second place at a 2.94% gain. That is a 17.5 Ugandan shillings price. If you are able to follow the stocks last week, Uganda Clays was one of the people who are losing, mainly at the beginning of the week, from about a price of 17.8 from 18 to 17 shillings. Now, closing the markets on Friday, Uganda Clays went up by 0.5 Ugandan shillings to trade at a price of 17.5. Uganda Clays was followed by Wumeme Limited, who came in third place at a 2.89% gain, and he came back with a price of 216.07. And looking at the fourth gainer there on the market, we had Equity Bank. Equity Bank Limited, you came out at 0.03%, and that one came at 1,429.17 Ugandan shillings, if you can see here. And definitely that gives you a good picture of the fact that Ugandan companies, we had 2 of them, are balancing with the 2 cross-listed companies from Kenya on the gaining side. And we shall be looking into the details of at least 2 of these, that is Jubilee Holdings and Uganda Clays, later on the show. But at the moment, you have to know that these came out on top by the end of the trading on Friday. Now, why this is important? Again, as you open the market today, you have to know which counters are promising, where has trade been happening most. And definitely, usually, those are some of the counters that traders may find very attractive. You don't want to get into a company that has had no activity over the last 6 months. It hasn't had any movements in price. It hasn't had any volumes traded. You don't want to get into that. And so that is why it's important to know these top gainers, top losers, bottom losers as well. Because much as they're gainers, it doesn't mean they're the best equities to buy from. It could mean maybe they're the best equities to sell right now, because you have seen a gain in value. Because every time these prices go up, it means that the shareholders already holding shares in these companies have become more valuable. Their shares have become more valuable. And that is what we are looking at. Every company is striving to give back to its shareholders in terms of increasing the value of their stock. Looking at the bottom losers here, we had 5 losers. who came out at the bottom, and they were led from the bottom by KCB Bank. KCB came out at a 1.16% drop in prices to a price of 1,289.12. Now, KCB hasn't been performing that well when it comes to the pricings and trading volumes, and we shall also be looking into the statistics of Kenya Commercial Bank here, looking at its prices in the past couple of months, seeing whether it is still something shareholders should look up to, or something actually they should run away from, because that's also quite important. But the price going down doesn't mean that the company is going down or something. I always say the price going down is an indication that it's time to buy. It's time to be able to increase your stock value, time to be able to make sure that you take the opportunity while the company is going down. Because we don't know where these prices could go in a few days, in a few months, in maybe a few years if you're patient enough. So currently, if you want to look in SCB, at least 289 is the opening price this morning, this Monday morning. At exactly 9 a.m., the markets are open. You can trade and be able to take part in the market. Centum came in the second last position, and he came out with a price depreciation of 1.0%, losing value to a price of 300.93. And this comes definitely after seeing Centum Investment also was one of the gainers for at least the past 2 weeks. He hasn't been doing that bad, but we see that closing the markets here, there was a slight drop in prices. And then Kenya Airways came into position number 3, the third last, who came out at a 0.19% price depreciation to come to a price of 121.91 Ugandan shillings. Nation Media Group came in the fourth last position at 604.77, and that was a 0.19% price depreciation. And that, of course, comes after Centum. Nation Media Group was quite stable last week, didn't have much movement in price, but we're seeing that at the end of the market day on Friday, there was a slight drop in those prices. Equity Bank Limited came out the fourth last position with a 0.01% drop to a price of 4,456.2. There were four players, and that's how the market closed on Friday, with 4 losers and 4 gainers and 5 losers. Now you can wonder, why would the market end with only 4 gainers and 5 losers, yet we had only 4 participants in the market? Well, that depends, because if you look at these stocks, we have some that are cross-listed. Now, especially for the cross-listed stocks, even if we don't trade on those stocks here in Uganda, they are traded on probably in their domestic stocks, that is in their stock exchanges. Now, let's take a look at, for example, East African Breweries Limited at 4,456. The same counter trades on the Nairobi Stock Exchange at a particular Kenyan shillings price. And when the market moves in Kenya, and maybe this particular stock has a lot of trading, or maybe it doesn't have a lot of trading, and its value goes down, its value on the Nairobi Stock Exchange runs in tandem with its value on the Uganda Securities Exchange. So if its value has gone down on the Nairobi Stock Exchange, in most cases, we expect the same on the Uganda Securities Exchange, though sometimes it's not always the case. It's not always the case. But just know we see these movements depending on the demand and the supply of these stocks. And just like any other product on the market, in the economics that we, of course, all know, the economics of demand and supply, these stocks are, of course, weighed on that exact measure of demand and supply. And definitely these pricings come as a result of the demand or supply. And in basically from the basic economics, we know that whenever a good is on high demand, whenever there are very many people that are willing and able and are going to buy the product, the stock market, the price of that particular product goes up, because there are many people willing to buy, and therefore some people will hike the prices, but still, since people are willing, they will buy. Now, if people have hiked the prices, you see that the stock price also will go up. And that's how this particular stock market works, on demand and supply. How much shares are there? How many people are willing to buy them? Now, there's a certain maybe the other way around, when there are actually few people willing to buy and the stocks are in excess supply. There we see the prices going down, because as people who already have shares are willing to sell at lower prices to be able to do away with that particular stock, you see the value of that particular stock go down as well. And this is exactly what we see on the market. Now, by participants, we mean the people that have traded. Not every day every company trades. There are days where companies don't trade at all, and there are days when most companies trade. So it depends on how many people have traded. You find that whenever we see a lot more selling than buying, if people are selling more than they are buying, definitely the price of that particular stock will also come down, because you realize whenever we keep selling, the supply becomes more and the demand becomes less, and definitely we see that people are willing now to even sell at lesser prices. Like I said, these prices are like prices of onions and tomatoes in the market. They're not fixed. They are prices which have a 15% window given by the Uganda Security Exchange to be able to give people room to be flexible. And so you can find, for example, on the stock of maybe Centum at 311.93, you can find someone willing to give you stock at 300, which is less than 311, but so long as it's within the 15% less or more than the given stock price, it's okay. And so long as you also are able to find someone else on the market who is willing and ready to buy at 3,000 shillings, even if the price is 311, you will have a deal. And that's how the market moves. And so definitely people here for the very first time, you shouldn't worry about this. It's very easy to participate in the stock market. You don't have to do all the math. You don't have to do all the counting. You don't have to keep track of each and every company. The stockbroker is there for you. And you can reach out to Uganda Security Exchange by dialing *165# using your MTN line. Then you go to option 6, that is financial services. After that, you go to option 5, which is the Uganda Securities Exchange. And with that, you can access your, of course, details there. They can be able to ask you for maybe your national identification number, that is your NIN number, and maybe a couple of other things for identification, or maybe a passport number, and so on. And then you will be able to open an SCD account. Now, the SCD account is the Securities Central Depository account. And this particular account is where your stock is kept, like a bank account that keeps money. The SCD account keeps stocks or shares. So whenever you buy shares, it's credited, and whenever you sell, it's debited. And with that particular account, you can be able to start trading. Maybe if you have MTN mobile money, then you can still use that to be able to deposit onto the stockbroker's account. Now, the stockbroker later comes in when the Uganda Security Exchange suggests a couple of names, definitely licensed by the Capital Markets Authority, which is the body that is mandated to regulate the capital markets in Uganda. You are able to access a stockbroker, and you can call them, you can go for consultation at their offices. You can do all these things. But Uganda Security Exchange wanted to make it easy and accessible. So you can just go to the Uganda Securities Exchange and they'll be able to give you the brokers that are available. You choose the one of your choice, because most of them are dealing almost in the same products, just maybe changes in maybe the way they do their work, but they definitely deal in the same thing. They help you purchase stock, they help you sell stock, they help you monitor the stock market on your behalf, because you're not an expert. You're not someone who is going to look at the market since it opens at 9 a.m. and look at it as it closes at 1 p.m. Maybe you can watch through maybe the show here, but to give you that full-time job is not your thing. It's not something you are supposed to do. And so the stockbroker, his role is to be on the market 24/7, to see where are the opportunities, because these people have gone to school basically to just learn how to invest, to just learn how to get that money and put it in these stocks, and how to get you the return as a customer. Of course, they will get a commission, a very small commission out of that, but that doesn't do any harm to your account. And whenever you don't make money, they don't earn, because stockbrokers earn from your increase. The moment your value for stock increases, the moment you sell stock at higher prices, that's when the stockbroker is going to actually take a very, very tiny commission out of it. But the moment there's no trading, the moment there's no profit, no one takes anything. No one takes away your money, right? No one takes away your money. So you are, dealing with someone who is experienced in what he's doing, and you're dealing with a person who is going to be able to invest on your behalf 24/7. Some stock brokers, not just here in Uganda, but they help you invest across East Africa, and then even some help you invest across Africa. All right? So you make your own research, get to know which brokers I'm dealing with, and these brokers will help you access these markets to avoid the trouble. But definitely you can also catch the show here, and which gives you a little glimpse of what the market looked like maybe the day before, and you will also be able to see for yourself what really happens behind the scenes, and which gainers, what does it mean to gain, what does it mean to lose. And yes, and whenever we see this loss or gain, it is definitely either harming or increasing the value of the shareholders. And when we talk about, for example, KCB going down by 1.16%, we are talking about a decrease in price by 1.16%, meaning the stock, the people holding this stock lost a value of 1.16% compared to the day before. Basically, that's it. And how you can gain from these companies and more, we are going to hear after of course, we're going to hear that after the break, if you stick around. Don't go anywhere after this commercial break. We return, of course, with more little basics. Since it's a Monday, we just refresh ourselves on what it's really like to trade in the financial markets. Don't go anywhere. My name is Anthony. Stay with us.